Well, how many people are excited about their goals and their dreams and their business today? How many people need a little bit of get it from Gilbert today?
I do. Okay,
All right.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
start
Well, I'm
recording.
ready. Looks like
Okay.
Joanne's just walking over the bridge here today. Uh, uh, well, good morning, everybody. Whether you're coming in from the East Coast, the West Coast, or all over the world, I just want to welcome everybody to the Tuesday morning huddle. And here what I want everybody to understand. I want everybody to go ahead and take 1 minute and text your team and say, get on the huddle today. Because I'll tell you what, they're going to get something today. For those that are interested in building a business, those that are interested in having more, doing more, and being more, then and not only you being on this call, I'll tell you what, it's about having your team on this call. And you guys, I'm going to give it to you for the next 30 minutes. You're going to get it from Gilbert. But first of all, I want to just let everybody know I'm thinking of the group and the team in way out in Florida. All the people have been hit by the hurricanes. You guys, um, be safe. Get out of there if you're in the road. We get one life, and you guys, I truly believe that we're in the right place at the right time, and I'm going to title today. Good to see where Wendy and Daryl out there walking. I just got off a coaching call this morning, and I said, you can be walking and you can be listening to the huddles. I see my friends Columbia and Karen really fell in love with them the first time I seen them when we drove to do a meeting. It was a small meeting, but you guys, everything starts small. So what I want to talk about today, and I got the sun flying in. I'm just going to take 2 seconds and shut the door. You never hear me complain about the sun coming in when I live in Canada. And I'll tell you, beautiful. Going to be 75 degrees here today. But here, what I'm going to tell you, it's going to warm up to way over 75 here in the next 30 minutes. So I want everybody to get a pen out and write down an idea. If you're walking and you hear something good, then take your phone out and put a note in. But I'm going to give you some stuff that Bob Proctor has given me for years, and I want to talk about taking the knowing, because I really believe we all know what to do. Okay, I do. If you've been on these huddles for most of us for the last 6 months, year, 2 years, okay, we have the knowing. Everybody agree with that? Is that a yes? Okay. Now what we want to do, we want to take the knowing to the doing. And you guys, it's a process. And you guys, it's not a 1 day process, it's not a 1 week process, it's a never-ending progress. The last thing Bob Proctor sent me a text just before he passed away, and it might have been the last text that he ever sent, and he said, Gilbert, personal development is a never-ending process. You guys, if you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not moving in the direction of your goals and your dreams, and I'm going to let you know, we had a 90-day run, and then we went to a convention. We had a 30-day run, and then I planned on having a little what I sit back, I reflect, I rest, I rejuvenate, and then I repeat. And then all of a sudden they put another 2 week promotion on. Anybody with me? I see Karen smile. Like, I mean, I'm ready. I'm going night and day. That last week, I'm going to tell you, almost every night it was midnight, but we had the most incredible run. And I'll tell you, here's what I'm going to tell you: the rewards of that are 90 days from now, a year from now. The foundation that you guys can do in 30 to 90 days is second to none. So what I want to let you know is this. Okay, Brian Tracy got a little video out, and I sent it to my team, and I sent it to myself, and I listened to it in the steam. Now you got to remember, I'm a runner. Okay, and I wasn't a runner. 4.5 years ago, if I was a house, I'd been condemned. I couldn't walk around the butt. I had a belly out to here. My mercury levels were through the roof. and now I'm racing up mountains and I'm beating people in New York City, and I'm getting ready to run my last race at the end of the year on October 23rd. But my schedule will be absolutely full by the time I leave Tulum. You see, the Science of Getting Rich that Bob Proctor spent for 20 years, you can get that book for $7. You can go on Bob Proctor's website, The Science of Getting Rich. Said if you want your business to grow quickly, dwell upon it in your leisure time. Okay. Now I'm all leading up to a few things here. So Brian Tracy has trained 5 million people, and he says, number one, he says you must put your goals in writing. You must put pen to paper. And I'm going to give you an example. Little things like this, I'm Bob Proctor on his goal cards, and he always would say, "I'm so happy and grateful that I am." Brian Tracy says this: you must write your goals in the present tense. Okay, what does that mean? That means as if they've already happened. So by January 1st, 2025, I'm so happy and grateful that I'm a 3-star elite. I'm a 4-star. I'm a 5-star. All right. Now, to understand that this was a YouTube video that Brian Tracy did, and it was about a 2-3 minute. Yesterday, because I've been running, I haven't been in the steam much. And what I did is I sat in the steam, and I said it was going to be, it takes me 20 minutes to start sweating, and then another 20 minutes that I stay in steam. So I wanted to listen to that in my subconscious mind for 40 minutes, 2 minutes, over and 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 over. All right. Then I got out and I spent the rest of the day redefining my goals. I see Black Crow just signed up. She's probably in here. I love that Black Crow. I can't wait to see her down in Tulum. And you guys, we're going to be doing a presentation next Monday night. And what a great job that Nilbert did last night. But we're going to be doing a meeting with Indy and Black Crow, and we're going to have Dr. Joanne, and we're going to have a great team. And I'm going to bring it in for a landing, you guys. And I want to give it back to George and Adrian for all that they're doing. You guys, I get a little off track here sometimes, but I always bring it back to Chicago. And so to understand, I'm so happy and grateful. You see, you got to write it in the present tense. And you guys, I'm going to break it right down into taking the knowing to the doing. Okay, so how about this? And what if you write down this? You got to remember, he's trained 5 million students. Bob Proctor probably was knew more about mind and money than anybody on planet Earth. You guys, I study successful people. I surround myself with successful people. I know 2025 is going to be my very best year I've ever had in my entire life. You see, because I'm planting those seeds. All right, you guys, remember, every adversity in life brings with it a greater or equal opportunity. Because of what happened yesterday, it gave an opportunity for everybody to rise up. I mean, we've got one of your ladies, Black Crow, that's going to be teaching this week on dress for success. You guys, we've got a team of leaders that get to come up and you get new ideas. All right. So what about this? I'm so happy and grateful that I'm living in a 5-bedroom home and all my kids has their own bedroom. Are you living in the house of your dreams, or are you living in the house that you can afford? Are you driving the car of your dreams? Or are you driving? When I seen Black Crow leave the convention, I'll tell you what, her husband was sitting in the passenger seat, and I'll tell you why, because she didn't trust her husband to be driving. She's got a lot of living to do, and she can't afford to be getting in an accident. He might have to have a nap, but she's on purpose, and she's focused. And I'll tell you what, everybody wants to be driving her car, okay? And I'll tell you why. Discipline and activity and persistence and consistency is why she's a world champion. You see, people do things in a certain way. All right. Now, what about this? I'm so happy and grateful by 2030 that I am 100% financially free. I have $1 million income coming. You see, you can plant the seed. You don't need to know how to do it. You hold on to the image and let that image. I mean, maybe $1 million isn't enough. Maybe I want to make 50K a week or 50K a month or whatever it may be, whatever your goals are, you guys. That now here's what the last 30-day tape I listened to. Your subconscious mind does not know the difference between what's real and not real. But if it's so big and it's so crazy, then that's a macro goal that I set 25 years ago that I'm going to crush this year that I didn't believe. You know, me running a 50K race 5 years ago when I couldn't run it in an hour and a half wasn't even, my brain could not even imagine that. When I run up the mountain and I'm so out of gas and I'm so ready to die that I thought it was going to kill me, but it didn't kill me. It made me better. And then you guys, there's always another program. There's always another 30 days. There's always another, but you got a progressive realization of a worthy idea. So so understand, you put that idea in your brain, you write it down. You guys, this is what I did all day yesterday. I did not take many calls. I wrote down goals until I'm 120 years old. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I know how to get to 100. We are on the greatest products in the world. Do you know what we can do in the next 40 years? You have no idea what we can do in the next 12 months. We have no idea what we can do in the next 30 days. Have no idea what we can do in the next 90 days. You guys, I'm so excited today for where we are. So first of all, you got to know where you are, and you got to take inventory. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You got to take inventory of where you're at, financially, physically. Where's your business at? Okay, and then where do you want to be? Okay, and it's just like a line. Know where you're at, know where you're going. That's your goal, that's your target. And when you get there, then it's bigger and better fantasy. So now understand this, okay? We've got regionals coming up, and there's a lot of people. I've been on many regional calls with Samson and Kim and Adrian and the leadership. You guys, there is 5 or 6 regionals coming up. But you see, in my brain, I'm looking for the next 90 days of regionals. Where am I going? I'm going in there because this is where the next regionals are going to be. This is where I'm going in to set up the teams and working with, you see, cross lines, up lines, down lines. You guys, we're one team. We're one team fighting one battle. We're all fighting the same battle to go out and create a multi-billion-dollar team for generational wealth. And what we do in the next 30, 90, 100, 365 days will set people up for generational wealth. And I believe, why am I going to be a guy that taught me how to do real estate, made $1 million a month for 44 months? He said, Gilbert, you need to travel light. Right now, I'm going to tell you the next 15 months, I don't need to work. I'm going to tell you, I do not need to work. I live in the most beautiful place in Canada. I got a beautiful dream center. I surround myself with incredible people. My son showed up last night. I happened to have a squash that I grew from my garden, and made this amazing recipe, and he just got half and I got half. We always have more than enough. Are you following? You guys, you can have a life of anything you want. I don't care where you are, as long as you're focusing on where you're going. So I want everybody to get this. Okay. I've got a meeting to do tomorrow, and I got to jump on a plane. And Dallin Larson says it only takes a handful of people to create $1 billion company. Do you know it only takes a handful of people to create a multi-million dollar business? Do you have your handful of people? All right. Are you got your handful of, but now you guys, from that handful of people, millions of people can come in. Understand the power of leverage. It's what you get started, play your best card. So who's your best card? Who are you putting your life into? Now, you're either a player or you're a coach. Okay. You're either a leader or you're a follower. And you guys, it's a process to go from, but when you want to multiply your income, it's you're going from things you do that you need to do as you go sponsor your 2020 vision, your 40 people, your 80 people. You guys, if you have not got your 5 people that you know, or 6 or 10 if you want to be Kim, I mean, I don't want to put limits on anybody's business, you know, but here's what I do know. I know that the people that I am working with, that I'm going to be spending the next 5 years with, you guys, that'll be 10 years. It's actually 4 years. I've been doing this for 24 years, 9 months, actually 10 months. And I'm more excited today for what's going to happen in the 25th year than I've ever been in my entire life. You see, I get to do this. I don't have to do this. I get to do this. I get to do what I love to do. I get to go help people, bless them physically and financially, and breathe life into them. I hope somebody gets something today, one idea that you're going to take action from what? Putting pen to paper. You guys, you've got to do this step by step. Your 1 year goal, your 6 months, your 3 year, your 5 year, your life purpose. Okay, so we've got these regionals coming up. I'm going to give you an example that is as good as it gets. Okay, a lady that I've been working with for about 8 months. Okay, had a friend from another cross line that was going to pick her up and take her to the meeting. Nothing wrong with picking up somebody and taking me. Think that's a good idea? No, it's not a good idea. Not when there's a regional, or not when there's a superstar, not when somebody's at a meeting. Here's what you need to do. Write this down. I'm going to make you $100,000. This is my real estate mentor, the number one. He said, come in week 4 of a 10-week program. He says, I'm going to make everybody $100,000 today. When somebody asks you to do something that you know that is not in your best interest, here's what you need to tell them. I'd love to, but I can't. Okay, if somebody wants you to make cookies for the Girl Guides, and you need to be going to a meeting tonight, and you need to be going and building your business, you need to say, hey, I'd love to make those cookies for you tonight, but I can't. You see, you don't need to explain. You don't need to. So by getting picked up by your cross line and chatting with a bunch of reps, going to a meeting, I said, you don't need to get a ride to the meeting with one of your friends. You need to do this. You need to pick the phone up and you need to fill your car up with guests. 3 hours left. That lady that I'm talking about brought 3 guests to the meeting with Holly and Corbin. They had about 10 people at the meeting. Could you imagine if 10 people all would have done what she did? Now you got 30 guests at the meeting. You guys, the room is doubled. You guys, taking the knowing to the doing. You guys, here's what I'm going to tell you. It was 3 hours before the meeting, before she started making calls. Do you understand? If you can teach your team to fish, you can teach your team to invite to the big events. You guys, I am going on a mission when I get back. We're coming into New Jersey. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to be supporting Adrian and George at one of their meetings. I'm doing a meeting. And you guys, I am not doing a meeting for my reps. I'm going in there to help my reps get ready for the regional on the 23rd. Do you understand? It's 28 days from the time I leave Tulum before we have a regional in New York City. You guys, we've got 5 stars coming in. We got 6 stars coming in. We got a lineup. I'm going to tell you, Columbo and Karen are some of the greatest testimonies. When I seen them do a presentation, I just sat back. They got a story that would inspire anybody. You guys, you got to get people. You got to get your chicken list. You got to go ahead. And when you got these 4 or 5 groups that are going in 4 or 5 different cities, why am I going to South Carolina? Why am I going to North Carolina? Why am I flying into New Jersey? Why am I going to New York? You guys, to help the team. But you see, the team, they can get on Zooms. They can send out a video. You guys, there's nothing better than getting a team in front of a bunch of experts. I will tell you, our number one group in New York City all came in because of a regional that we did, and we got her to the meeting, and that person has only signed up one person, and now 100 or so people have joined in because of that one person come to the regional, because they listen to people that have made 60, 70 million dollars, people that have made 50 million a week. And you guys, these regionals that are coming up, if you're not going to them, if you're not supporting them, you're not getting your people to, you don't need any more training. You guys, we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. What we got to do is we got to take the what you know and take the activity to the action to get you in congruent with your goals. And you can simply just ask yourself a real simple. I'm going up to do a meeting tomorrow night in Edmonton with Judy. This lady has had her best run in 39 years. not by chance or luck. She had two people drive 3 hours to come to the meeting that we did in Calgary with Indy the other night. And you know what's so great about this? Columbo and Karen have a group of people right in Edmonton. The last time I put one person in Edmonton, we put 30,000 people in there. We haven't even launched Canada yet. Do you understand how huge this place is? We're in 14 countries. We're coming out of, I'll tell you what, if you're not getting up in the morning and you're not excited about your goals and dreams, then you need to take a little bit of time today and get off there and then listen to something and then clearly define what you want and then hold that image. But here's what I'm going to tell you: you got to take action. I believe 2025 will be my greatest year. You see, I get to choose to think that. But you see, I don't only think it, I believe it. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So if your goal is so big, that's your macro goal. Now you got to break them down. What can I do in the next 30 days? Do you know I only have a couple of goals to help a couple of people or 5 or 6 people hit a certain level? And if I help those handful of people, see, if you're available to everyone, you're no good to anyone. These huddles are for every single person. We got to huddle every single day. We got YouTube videos. You guys, there's more training out there, and that's why I'm saying we need. Bob Proctor always said, Gilbert. He says we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. You've been taught enough. We got to take some action now. I was working with somebody last night or the night before. It was just about midnight, and Bob would always say, Gilbert, if we don't stop pretty soon, we might as well just do it all over again. I mean, time runs out when you're working on your goals and your dreams. You know how much energy it takes to think about all of the negativity and the doubt and the fear and the worry. Do you think I'm excited? I'm excited about what I get to do this year. I'm excited about where we're going to be in 2027 on October the 30th, because that's a very special day. Because once I hit that day, you guys, that's four more times to do something at 62, 63, 64, and 65. Do you understand? That's 10 years I've give to a company. You guys, do you understand? A lot of things have happened in those 10 years. But you know what hasn't happened? My goals. Every time I just get crystal clear, I focus on my goal. It's not what happens. It realigns. Something falls apart, it realigns, and it's like you're building the pottery, and you're going and poof, you squish it down and you start all 5 of the people that I'm working with are not the 5 people I ever dreamed that I was going to build my 6-star legs. They were not even. You see, I just do what I'm not in control of what people do. I'm in control of what I do. Got to understand that. You know how hard it is to get me to do something? I got to look in the mirror every day, and I got to beat that guy I look at in the mirror. That's the only person that got me. You think I'm going to talk George into doing something that I want him to do that he doesn't want to do? Convince somebody against their will is not convincing them at all. What it is you be disciplined. You be focused. You want a better life. You get up and go for that walk like Wendy and Daryl. I remember meeting Daryl years ago. You guys, we get one life. We get one shot at it. Take care of your health and wellness. You might have a million problems, and you get sick, you only got one problem. And all your other problems go away. You guys, we have a business that we put nutrition into our body that we can add decades to our life. You guys, I'm telling you what, I truly believe this with the bottom of my heart. If I wouldn't have been in this business, I would not be here today. My mercury levels were the highest the doctor had ever seen. My health issues, and we're not here to talk about health and wellness, but you guys, what happened was I ended up getting a health coach. And then I ended up boom. And then all of a sudden I wanted to have a better relationship with my granddaughter or my daughter-in-law. And now all of a sudden, now I'm running races all over the world and doing it and loving them. You guys, we don't know what's good for us. You know what's good for us is our dreams and our goals. We're in the hope business. We're not in the doubt business. We're not in the hope so. When your hope so goes to you, I know so, and your subconscious mind gets up every day, you don't need a lot of sleep. You know when you need a lot of sleep is when you're sitting there worrying every day about how you're going to pay your bill. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Money's the last thing that comes. I'm going to tell you, when I'm trying to convince people to do something, they just don't understand it. But here's what I will tell you. You can ask yourself, how many calls did I make today? How many videos did I send out today? How many? Everybody knows the rules. make a list of 250 people, get their phone numbers and names, and you get them on a call. And then you send them a video and you do a three-way call. You go through that. I will tell you, you will be a professional network marketer. That's your step. I could teach. I love to train. I love to inspire, but I'll tell you more than anything I love, as I just said to Judy on our Sunday night call, I've never done this. I'm going to walk across the stage and I'm going to hold her hand when she's 3-star elite. Do you understand that will be one of my most exciting moments? And you guys, here's what I'm going to tell. I don't only think I can. I already know I can. And if my belief is in Judy, then Judy needs to believe in me until she believes in herself. And then I don't need to believe in her anymore. And she doesn't need to believe herself, because then it's done. I used to go to some meetings once in a call, and I said, how long do I got to go to these meetings? He said, you got to come to these meetings till you want to come, and then you don't have to come anymore. I might have went right over some of you guys' heads there, but let me repeat that. I used to go to these meetings, and I said, how long do I got to go to these meetings for? And he said, you only got to come till you want to come, and then you don't have to come anymore. See, I don't have to go to these meetings anymore. I don't have to go down the road and drive 4 hours to do a meeting. I don't have to get on a plane and fly into the Carolinas and New York and New Jersey. I get to go there. I want to go there. I get to inspire. I get to do my life purpose. I get to do what I get to do. I get to breathe life into people. And you guys, then I watch for who takes that seed. What's it say in this incredible book? Okay. Do you think I read this book? What's this incredible book? Think and Grow Rich. I think it's on page 17. It says, when you breathe an idea or life into the minds of men and women, one idea, here's what it says. Then you need to take action with that idea. Because what happens is that idea becomes stillborn after a day, 2 days, 4 days. Do you understand? Fortune's in the follow-up. If you don't follow up for 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, I mean, that candle's so darn cold, it couldn't, you know what? You know how you burn wet wood? You get such a big flame that you just throw that wet wood in there, and then it just gets bigger and bigger. You follow the process. You take action. You do activity. Activity is what's going to create your dynasty. I'm going to end with this. All the goals and all the dreams and all the opportunities, I believe, beyond a shadow of a doubt, it'd been easy to quit. It'd been easy to go do other things. But here's what I'm going to tell you. That's the easy thing to do, is quit. But here's the only question you got to ask yourself, and I keep this on my desk. Here's the only thing I look at when I work with people. And I'm going to end with this. And I got it from Bob Proctor, and I put it in my 10-week program. He says, the only question you got to ask yourself after you write your goals. I want to encourage you to get quiet. Take some time. All right. And do it. And then I want you to do this. Here's what it is. Am I willing? It says there's only really one question you need to ask yourself. Am I willing? This is the only question that's any real importance that requires an answer. Okay. To turn my fantasy into reality, am I willing to make a sizable investment in myself? Do you know how many people that I work with, I said, man, you got to power up. You got to get ready. But you see, you can't convince somebody if they don't see the value. You see, they're always worried about what they're spending instead of what they're investing. You guys, I've had no money. I've lost all my money so many times. You guys, money's the easiest thing in the world to make. But you see, if you don't invest, you're never going to know. You guys, I've taught my children well. They've invested. So make a sizable investment. You guys, at number 2, go where you have to go. Am I going where I have to go? I'm going where my leaders are. I'm going where my best cards are. Okay. Do what you have to do. You guys, I give you a bunch of gold nuggets today. Move where you have to move. You guys, I spent 8 months in New York City. I'll tell you what, it's going to turn out to be one of the greatest 8 months I ever spent in my life. That first 30 days, I had to beat me every day in the mirror. What am I doing here? Oh, well, I committed. I did this. But here's what I'm going to tell you. It's going to build a dynasty. It's going to go all around the world for what I committed to. Okay. Study what I need to study. You guys, you got to beat you every day. You got to be reading books. You got to be okay. Take direction when it's required. You guys, when you love somebody and you care about them, then you can tell them what they need to hear. Until they trust you and believe you, you can't tell them anything. Okay, continue in the face of failure, no matter what, as long as it's congruent with your goals and your dreams. Commit yourself 100% to living the way you choose to live, possibly even feel ridicule, humiliation, and rejection as a part of the price to win. You know how many people are going to tell you, my own family members, not my family, not my kids, but I'm talking some of my siblings and whatnot. They say, they've watched me in my pain, but here's what I'm going to tell you. I wouldn't trade my life for anybody's on planet Earth today. You guys, when you move through the terror barrier and you get the other side and you get to pinch yourself and say, man, I'm living the life that I want. And if your answer is yes, a resound yes, I am willing, then you are able to you're already on your way to becoming a winner. You guys, remember, being a winner in life is not easy. It's simple, but it's definitely not easy. It requires complete honesty and the abundance of courage. And the moment you answer the question about your willingness to take your fantasy into theory, you are now ready to put your theory into practice and create a whole set of positive environment things in your life. You guys, you got it from Gilbert. Have an amazing day. Take the knowing to the doing, and God bless you. I'm going to see you somewhere. Like Zig Ziglar says, I'm going to see you at the top, or I'm going to see you from the top. Okay. I want to encourage everybody to be. Oh, and there's a Dr. Annette. Good to see you back from France. I see all my friends on here. I see Craig and Paul and Tony and Frank and Janet and you guys have an amazing day and take care.
Gilbert, you're incredible. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you guys.
Thank
You
you.
guys, don't miss this opportunity. You guys, the opportunity right now. You can kill the recording, George. The opportunity.